Welcome to another video. I hope you're doing all great. Thanks to my latest subscriber, Hardcore Trader. Welcome to the hood, brother. And now please make sure to hit that like button. Let's get this video up to 200 likes. Hit that subscribe button and turn on post notification to get notified for every new video. And now let's get started with today's episode. In today's episode, we're gonna talk about forks. I saw a lot of comments, tweets, and also Telegram messages about the upcoming PulseChain fork. So I think there are some open questions going around the community. I try to do my best to inform you about the forks, about the upcoming fork of the PulseChain, but also in general, what are forks in general. So the main topics of today is the Ethereum fork. What is a fork? What is the difference between a soft and a hard fork? We will see that in the past, many forks happened already. For example, we had a lot of Bitcoin forks, but also Ethereum forks in the past. Then the next point will be the upcoming Berlin Ethereum hard fork. Yes, there's also an upcoming hard fork for Ethereum. And then why is Richard Heart even forking Ethereum for itself, for HEX and other tokens? And I will show you my interpretation of the upcoming PulseChain fork with a little Picasso drawing, so stay tuned for the end of this video for that. We're gonna see which points are open, like there are some questions open about the topics in general, and now let's get started right away. So what are forks exactly? Cryptocurrency forks are considered to be a rare occurrence in the crypto world in general. Some are planned, others results of extreme situations. Whatever the case of appearance might be, one thing is for sure, when they happened, there are usually big changes ahead. And I can guarantee you that already, even if we don't very little about the upcoming fork. That's why today we're gonna talk about forks in general and as well the PulseChain fork. So let me just change the screen real quick. We have a definition of fork. I told you already before. What is a fork? We have two types of forks. We have the soft fork and the hard fork. First, the soft fork is more of a little change. They happen all the time. We can see soft forks are watered down version of hard ones. They are called soft because they don't change anything surrounding the actual structure of the protocol. That means this is like a Windows upgrade. This is like a Windows patch. You just can install a little patch and everything is good. But if you would like to go from Windows 10, for example, to the next version, you have major changes in the protocol. Soft forks, some of them are more popular and frequent than soft forks, which are change the size of a specific block. We saw that back in the Bitcoin history by around 2017. And the second point for the soft forks are, normally you can also run a node with an older version, with an older software version, and you can still participate in the network. If it comes to hard forks, this is a little bit different. Hard forks are huge changes in the cryptocurrency in question. They can change the cryptocurrency's protocol itself, rendering the older version of that protocol invalid. For example, if you're going to change the mechanism from proof of work to proof of stake, this is a real big change. We will see this in a second when we talk about the upcoming Berlin fork. This is the way to the end state of Ethereum, which will be proof of stake. This is the same for the PulseChain. I'm pretty sure it will be proof of stake. So just let me proceed real quick. Hard forks are usually implemented under extreme conditions. They are rarely planned. Most of the time their appearance is due to necessity. This makes sense because there are usually no legitimate reasons to implement a hard fork in normal function cryptocurrencies. So this is what we see as well why Richard Heart is forking. There is no such thing implemented at the moment in Ethereum, which would allow us to continue on this chain. So the next topic is, we saw some major forks in the past as well. First, more popular maybe Bitcoin forks. Some people can remember back in the days 2016, 2017. It started already earlier. You can see Bitcoin started first. We had some blockchain forks, and then we had the first soft fork. Then we all of a sudden had more forks. There were some discussions about SegWit. Anyway, people forked away. For example, Bitcoin ABC. We had also Bitcoin Cash forked away. Some rare ones, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Diamond. You see, we have already a lot of chains going on. And if you continue to scroll down, you can also see Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Core forked away. Then they even forked again from itself. But by the end, you can see we have a lot of different Bitcoin forks, different Bitcoin chains, which are working more better others not so much. We have Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Cash, ABC, Bitcoin Core, main Bitcoin, this is the real Bitcoin, Bitcoin Gold and other forks, and the Bitcoin Dark Coin. So this should show you already that a lot of forks happened in the past. This is nothing unusual, people forking all the time. As you can see, there are many forks happening also in the Bitcoin environment, but now let's proceed to the Ethereum environment. Again, there is an upcoming hard fork. Since 8th of March, the Berlin upgrade for Ethereum has been officially announced. This upgrade will be part of a series which is non-backward compatible hard forks, which the developers have planned from the beginning as intermediate stations on the way to Serenity, the final shape of Ethereum. This means you have first what we learned before, the non-backward compatible hard forks. This is not just a soft fork, this is a real hard fork, which include major changes on the way to the final shape for Ethereum. So let me proceed, let me see what's going on. The upgrade will be activated with the block 12,244,000, which is expected to happen on the 14th of April. The testnet is already rolled out or will be rolled out shortly. And why I'm talking about the Berlin upgrade, because of the 4 EIPs. EIPs are Ethereum improvement proposals which will be injected with the Berlin upgrade. There are 4 changes, like 4 major changes, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit about 2929. If we scroll down a little bit more, you can find the EIP2929 increasing gas costs for state access opcodes. And if we gonna have a look at the Ethereum improvement proposals.org website, you can see which proposals, which EIPs are already in the final state. So that means they are already ready for the Berlin upgrade. If we scroll down a little bit, and there are many there. If we scroll down a little bit, we find the section last calls, and there as well is the EIP 2029. If we click on this simple summary, we can see increases gas cost for Asload, and this is the main function, of course, other cryptocurrencies using as well in the DeFi space, but HEX is using this mechanism. If you're going to end your stake, some calculations are needed, and in the moment, if you have already a lot of stakes, a lot like me, you have to pay already a lot of gas for an end stake, and this should increase around 2 to 3x. This will mean the gas fees to end the stake will be already higher. Even if we pay now on a low day $100, this could be roughly $200 to $300 to end the stake. So this is not working at all for us. So I will not go into the details technically what is happening with the Asload function, with the increase of the Asload function, but this will have a huge effect to end your stake in the future on the Ethereum change. So this is why Richard Heart will fork Ethereum itself. And if we have a quick look in the past, we had already some Ethereum hard forks. For example, Ethereum Classic was one. We had another one which called Ether Zero, and as well Metropolis is one. So forks happening all the time. This time I think the motivation is a little bit different, but anyway, we gonna fork Ethereum, and this will be on the website PulseChain.com. You can see a cheaper, faster, fee-burning Ethereum fork. And this is also the main reason why Richard Heart is forking. The fees are too high and we have to be on another platform. But many of you now ask the question what this will actually mean to their actual stakes on the Ethereum platform. So we will see this in a second. I'm gonna show you how a fork normally happens. I also will show you what I don't know so far. Maybe you can help me out with a comment in the comment section down below. If I should get anything wrong, just let me know, write a comment, and we will have a chat. So in the next step, I'm gonna show you my interpretation of the upcoming fork of Ethereum for PulseChain.com. Of course, we don't know everything in detail yet. I hope to get clarification soon from Richard Heart in the next upcoming stream. But for now, I'm gonna show you what I know. Maybe you can correct me if you have any suggestions. Let me know down in the comment section. So let's get started with my DaVinci skills in Paint. If we think we have a chain over here, let's call it the ETH chain. And we're gonna do this ETH chain is producing the blocks all the time As usual, our hex lives on this blockchain, so the blocks are created every couple minutes and seconds, and now on one day Richard Heart will decide there will be a snapshot, there will be a blockchain hard fork of Ethereum. At the moment we don't know yet exactly when the fork will happen, so we don't have a block number yet, but what we know for sure, once PulseChain will fork away from the main Ethereum chain, this will look like this. The last block will be produced, and let's say we're gonna fork at this block here. This means the chain will get forked away. We will produce our own blocks. Ethereum will continue to use and to produce their own blocks as well, but the new chain also starts to produce some blocks. So let me just finish the drawing real quick like here. So this means we have now two chains working and producing blocks, and there maybe will be a slight change already. So this will be the pulse change. If I can type pulse change, this will be maybe no longer be proof of work like we know from the miners in Ethereum. This will be probably proof of stake. But now a lot of people ask their questions, yeah, but what will happen with my hex? What will happen with my stake? So what I gonna know for sure, and I'm pretty damn sure about this, you have, like, let's say at this last block just before the fork, that means you will have, for example, let's say you have 10 million hex in liquid and you have 15 stakes, maybe laddered, maybe not. Doesn't matter. So those are your values. You have them on the last block in the Ethereum chain. This is your wallet. This is your address. Now the fork is happening. What will happen if hex will now live on Ethereum and as well on the new Pulse chain? So if we have a closer look on the Ethereum chain, your hex is still there, your hex is safe, and your stakes will live continuously on the Ethereum blockchain until you're gonna end them, and the liquid hex sits as well on your Ethereum blockchain. But what's now about the new chain, the Pulse chain? You will have a copy of your liquid and staked assets. So for example, in this example, we have 10 million hex liquid. That means you will have now, let's call them hex pulse, just that we know. So you will have 10 million hex pulse liquid. You still have your 15 stakes, but these are hex pulse stakes, so those stakes are also staked on the new chain. Why is that? Because it's simple. You cannot change the smart contract. The smart contract of hex is living really through the blockchain of Ethereum all the time and cannot be stopped. So this smart contract will work forever, and your stakes will work forever as well. The same is now for the new stakes. Your stakes and your liquid hex is now on the Pulse chain as well. So first fun fact, you will have the double of hex, the double of stakes living on both chains. Now, of course, there could be the question, what will happen with the old chain, with the old hex chain? Maybe people will migrate away to the new Pulse chain. We don't know. It depends what you like. But by the end, you have both in your wallet. It will be the same wallet address. Like, for example, if you used Matic before, you just switch to the Matic network and voila, already you have the same address, and you receive even 0.1 Matic to do immense transactions almost for free. This brings me to the next point. So what we know for sure, you will have your hex, which is liquid. You also will have your stakes on the new chain, but there are some open points which I don't know yet. So for example, what will happen with the Ethereum? That would mean if you have, for example, one Ethereum in your wallet up here, you would after that have one Pulse, for example. But I think Richard Heart is much smarter than that. This could be a mechanism, not like a usual airdrop where you give away a lot of crypto to a lot of people at once. This could result in a huge dump on the chart, and I'm pretty sure we would like to avoid that. So for example, we saw in Hex that the Bitcoin holders could claim their free Hex, so maybe there will be a similar mechanism for the Pulse. We could anticipate maybe there are some claim mechanism for Ethereum holders, maybe there are other mechanism working, for example, the amount of T-shares you're owning or the amount of liquid hex. There are many open points. The second point, which I'm not really sure where the journey will go, is the liquidity. For the moment, we have a huge liquidity on the Hex USDC pair on Uniswap version 2. We have some liquidity on the Uniswap pair HEX Ethereum, and I am really looking forward to see if the liquidity will rise on both chains, because I think it's not just about the fork, it's not just about the new chain. There will be systems built around, like exchanges, like Block Explorer, like price websites, and maybe backend system as well. You need also bridges to communicate with the other blockchain. I could imagine that Pulse is sitting in the middle and is connecting to all the other chains around them, sort like an interaction with all the chains, all the DeFi projects and tokens. This would be really dope. So you can see we have still so many questions open, so I really look forward what will happen. But what I know, I will continue to stake and buy HEX on the Ethereum blockchain, because I'm not worried at all. Once we fork away, and once maybe the people, the community will move over to the new PulseChain, and HEX will just die in a way, in a price way on the ETH chain, this will be good for me, because I have the same which I own now on the new chain. Whenever we have to go back, which is not necessarily a thing, PulseChain, which will be really fast, this is already guaranteed. And fast, I mean we will be faster than Ethereum. We will have the fee burning mechanism. So as you can see, there are many points open. I also have some questions. If you have more inputs, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'm looking forward for the upcoming fork. I'm not worried at all, I repeat myself. So you will have the both. You will have your tokens on the old and on the new chain. You will even have more than now. So with that, I hope this video was helpful. If you found any value in it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. This would be really appreciated. Leave a comment down below if I have anything wrong in this explanation, and stay long and fat, stay safe out there, and see you in the next one. Peace.